Okay, so welcome to part 6 of my gaming collection video. And this is PS4, and quite a bit of PS4 games here. There are a few I don't have anymore that I'm like, whatever, which was Dragon Ball Fighter Z. At the time when that came out, great, but, they wanted you to pay too much money for characters, and ain't nobody wanted to do that. But, go ahead and let's get started. So the first one, which a bit difficult to play, but I love where it takes place at, and that's Assassin's Creed Origins. I love the Egyptian theme, the setup, everything like that. I'm hoping that we get an Assassin's Creed game, I want to say set in either ancient Japan or in the West, mainly focusing within the native aspect. I think that would be really great. Of course, the second one, which would be kind of more like a remaster Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Again, I hear they are remaking that. I hope so, because there's just parts of the game where you just kind of just get stuck and you really can't progress, The other one is Batman Return to Arkham, which is the remaster and of both Asylum and City. And one of the things that people pay attention to, if you go back, you play the originals, you're going to see that there's going to be things took out. But if you play Return to Arkham, there's added dialogue that confirms a lot of things that were being done behind closed doors to a lot of the female inmates, if you will. Just like they went into Arkham City, added in, deleted cutscenes, deleted play type of things, and deleted dialogue. That completes the game in a whole. Here we have Batman Arkham Knight. I think I re-uploaded my original voiceover gameplay I had on my old channel. I think I may have put it onto this one. I don't know for certain if I did or not. I might have. You guys would have to check the playlist for that. Moving on from there, we got the Season 1 of Batman Telltale series. I really love this one. It's really great. I personally enjoy how they approached his parents with that one. Then we got Season 2, The Enemy Within, always a good one and everything. And if you play it right, you do get an enjoyable relationship with Batman and Joker, or Bruce Wayne and Joker. And that's the part where it does get a bit heart-touchy. It sucks that we never got a Season 3. I think that would have been great. Here we have Detroit Becoming Human. I would love to have more Detroit Becoming Human. It's a series that it would be a good series. It really, really would. I would like to see, not after, because it would be hard to pinpoint that, but before. Why is everything now so Android, so much more robotic? What drove the world into doing that? I would like to see that aspect explored. And the next one here, the GTA trilogy. Not really kind of a trilogy though, if you think about it, but I only got it for like 2 or 2 games, Vice City and San Andreas, honestly. And of course, GTA 5 for the PS4. What there is to say about that. Here we have one of my favorite, when I mean favorite games, I'm talking about with the company, because I'm not a fan of horror. And what really introduced me to the horror aspect of my first games with horror, and don't expect me to go crazy on this channel with horror games, it's just not my cup of tea. I just, it's whatever, but it would be the Dark Pictures Anthology, their series with like the Until Dawn universes, and with the House of Ashes, which is a really good one. I do recommend this one if you guys have not played it. I'm looking forward to their new anthology one, which focuses on space. It has a mixture of that horror aspect, but a lot of space in it. Life is Strange Before the Storm. Always a good one. Always just a classic. With Life is Strange before, Life is Strange Before the Storm, I do feel like the game wasn't complete. I think, it really wasn't complete. Now, I haven't played the last two new ones yet, at all, which I will show when we get to the PS5 games, and my reason for not being able to play a lot of the games right now. But I always felt like there was more to that game that was took out. And I said, okay, did they do that for a reason? Because it was pretty much left on a cliffhanger, and I feel like there's material there that they said, okay, we want to add what happened with Rachel Amber in the first one. And I felt like they kind of took that away and said, okay, let's add it for the Before the Storm, okay, but then let's take that away. And I feel like when they did that, I feel like they may have not known where they were going, because there's a lot more there with Rachel Amber. I would love to have a game, us as the players play as the protagonist of Rachel Amber. Like, why? What was the real reason for her distancing herself with Chloe? Why did she fall for Frank? What led her to falling for Mr. Johnson, and stuff in between that led to her disappearance, and we know what happened to her. I think that would be a great game. That might not be much there for material. It'll be a shorter game, yeah, but I really think that's what we need. Here we got the first Life is Strange. Always great, always wonderful to play. Moving on here, Life is Strange 2. Love Life is Strange 2. I think a lot of people did. I know I did. I enjoyed it. I loved how it focuses on so much, especially with the racism aspect, where I don't think a lot of people really understand what some people go through, especially me as a half-breed of a Native American. Trust me, I relate to that game. Then we have Life is Strange True Colors. I really hated this installment. There was just no need for it. I felt like you were really in one place in the game. Like you weren't able to really move around. It didn't feel that big of a world for it. And then you had the DLC, which you were stuck in the studio. I played that. It was just one of the absolute weakest ones, in my opinion. Moving on, LA New War. I loved when I was able to play this for the PS4. I loved it so much. It was just a really awesome detective game. We don't get a lot of that like we should. We don't, and we should. Moving on, we have... Which one is this? I want to make sure I got this one right. Oh, this one scared the shit out of me, Little Hope. The old lady that's chained up like this, and she's like floating on like whatever she is tied up to, like chasing after you like that. Holy shit, that one just got you. I'm like, and I'm playing it late at night. I'm like, holy shit, out loud. My mom now like, what's going on? I got this creepy old lady chasing after me in this game, chained up. It's just the way they did that game. It's so it was like the scariest one. But what a lot of people don't know with Dark Anthology Pictures, with their series that they were doing, a lot of that is based off lore and stories that have happened. If those that follow those type of stories, and some say, oh, well, they're creepypastas, well, where there's smoke, there's fire, and I'd recognize a lot where they were, where the stories were being pulled from, because I listen to a lot of that at times, especially during October, so I knew where the House of Ashes, with the story behind that one, the original one, the true story, if you will, and Little Hope, and especially with this next one, I do need to get a new copy of this one, because this one had loading issues, which brings me to the point I was never ever to truly play it, and that's Land of Mandarin. And it, when I tried to play it, it just loaded me, a little bit at the beginning, but then it's like something happened and it just loaded me to the end. And it had loading issues, technical issues. And this is based off of the Mandarin ship, something that was from, I think, the early parts of World War II. Scientists were trying to mess with teleportation, and they were found allegedly fused to the walls inside the metal, and it had just weird stuff with it. So that's where that one came from. Next we have the Mafia trilogy. One thing about the Mafia trilogy, I'm glad they really redid a lot of 1, a lot of 2, how the openings were excellent, especially with 3. I enjoyed, definitely was able to say, hey, now I can say I'm able to play all of them, which I am. Except, again, I have the new one. I didn't play that yet. Again, in the last part of this installment, I'll talk about all that. If those that may have watched my shorts, then you know, but you know. Next is Red Dead Redemption 1. I need to get the 360 version again. I do. I'm glad we got this updated console one, but I would love for it to be put out on PS5 physical, which then leads us to Red Dead Redemption 2. Such a very beautiful, well game. You know, it's just really great. You know, what can I say what hasn't already said about this? I would love, and I remember doing topic videos when it came to Red Dead specifically that I would upload on here. You guys can find a lot of my topics and thoughts like this on the playlist called Gaming Vlogs. But I would love for them, okay, let's remaster the game a little bit for the PS5, right? Where we're at now in technology is so advanced that the engines are so big for these consoles that they can add the removed content when it comes to maps, characters, other areas, to rework it. And I would not want anything rushed. I would actually want them to take their time to where, okay, what can we do? What can we do? Right, okay, yes, the maps. Add in a lot of the removed dialogues, a lot of the missing cutscene things that were cut out that would actually be great, fans would want. As you progress through the game, you would be able, specifically more so I would say as John, to have more of an open range to go to Mexico, Guarma, and especially the map from Red Dead Revolver. Again, you guys heard me talk about that in my PS2 collection ones, if you guys haven't, when it comes to the map connections and things like that. Things even with Dutch. Again, if you guys really want to know my full process thoughts with everything like that, again, really check out that gaming vlog playlist, because I go into a lot of depth and my ideas and the conversations. I would. There's so much there. Next one, which is more of a gift from my mom. She wants the original 3. A little bit pricey though. They are. This game people get stuck on so much, but it's Spiral, the original 3 trilogy ones. I would like to know if anybody can tell me the title of one of the Spiral games and for what system where he was an adult. That's the one I want to play the most. I want to play the one where Spiral is pretty much grown up as an adult. So if anybody can tell me, please do that. That would be wonderful, and I would love you forever. I would. Moving on. This is when we get to how the Spider-Man games really gave us the Sam Raimi feel, even from the Spider-Man, the animated series feel, when it just came to Insomniac Spider-Man. Spider-Man 1. I got all 3 of them. Just playing it, the suits. I didn't play the DLCs. You know, I'm not really a DLC fan. I know some people like DLC, some people don't. To me, when DLCs first started, they actually used to be good. But then, you know, whatever. But man, I really love how these days Spider-Man games are. The blueprint for me, when it just comes to, and I know I sound a lot of rinse and repeat, the blueprint when it comes to a good superhero game has been laid out with the Arkham series and the Insomniac Spider-Man series. The blueprint is there, which again, if you go back to the conversation I was saying, you wanted the, let's say again, I know the Lego Batman trilogy or Legacy games coming out that focuses on the movies. I'm not a Lego fan. I didn't grow up with Legos. If they could take those aspects and turn them into the games that we have when it comes to the layouts. Again, we have the blueprints from the Arkham series and the Insomniac Spider-Man. The blueprints are already there. You know, they got the scripts already there. Even from within the movies already there to say, hey, let's make a proper Batman Legacy games based off the movies. Because you have the blueprints, like I said, from the Arkham series to the Insomniac Spider-Man. You have the blueprint, and that's what I would love to really see. Maybe I understand Lego part might be a bit more affordable for the companies, but again, some of us don't really care for Legos, you know, and I'm one of them, you know. Next is one that deserves a follow-up. God, I love this game, and there's not a lot of Transformers games out there, but it's Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark. The only Transformer game I wish I owned, I used to rent a lot back in the day, was Beast Wars. Next, and again, you guys are probably gonna sick of seeing me show these ones, but I love this girl so much. So much. It's really awesome. You guys already know, man. The Tomb Raider, the more Tomb Raider. Just really playing it. When I was able to experience these like a few months back and play them for you guys, I was glad I was able to do so. When I said, man, I can't believe I missed out on this. I'm glad I'm caught up. I can't wait for the new trilogy to start. Yes, I have the remaster of the first originals that came out that I haven't played yet, and I will for you guys. And I just really love it, man. I love Tomb Raider, dude. I love Lara Croft. What can I say? I'm a Tomb Raider guy. You know, I even, for Christ's sakes, man, I got the movie staring, you know, like right at me, man. You know, I got the movie staring right at me. Just a huge Lara Croft, man. Tomb Raider. We got The Walking Dead Season 1 for the PS4 with the 400-day DLC pack. We got Season 2, right? Of course, we got Season 3, New Frontier. We got the final season, right? And we have the Definitive Series, which I did play for you guys. Only the first 3 seasons. I'm not, because I already had played Season 4, but I am glad they added the Michonne one, because I felt like that always needed a physical release. Here we have the remaster of The Last of Us 1, always great, including with the DLC Left Behind. I love, and I really cannot wait till we get more more of The Last of Us. And Last of Us 2, I remember when I did play this off screen before I streamed the original release. And a lot of people are probably used to the PS5 version, which I do like. But if you go back to this one, double disc set and everything. Double disc set. Then we have this last installment when it comes to the Dark Mythology Pictures one. A letdown. And that was the devil in me. The trailer looked good, but it led to nothing. It led to nothing. Everybody's looking forward to this guy. It led to nothing. It was so fucking bad. Oh my god. And then we have the one that started it all. Until Dawn. No, I will not be streaming the remake of it. I just will not fucking do it. They removed too much good shit. Sorry, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Don't care, not gonna fucking do it. But that is my gaming collection part 6 for the PS4. Part 7 will be the last installment for the PS5. I don't have a lot of PS5 games. What I have is what I like. Please keep in mind, you know, I know people like, well, you're a gaming channel, can you stream games, certain games? I'm picky. I'm not a huge gamer. It may seem that way, but I don't go out and play and buy every title. It's not always going to be worth it. My channel, I'm going to play what I want to play. that's just how it goes. You know, that's really how it goes. It really is. I don't mean to sound rude, but first, you know, I apologize for sounding that way. It's just, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And about